I just shared something today in my live and it was too good, so I have to share it with you too. And it's about Hashimoto's disease and its treatment and where people get it all wrong. So I want you to imagine Hashimoto's disease as a tree. I want you to imagine long roots at the bottom, and at the top, there's all this fruit. It can be any fruit. Think of apples. So the fruit of Hashimoto's disease is thyroid disease, hypothyroidism. The root of Hashimoto's disease is the immune system. Now, what most people do is they only focus on the fruit. So they're only looking at the thyroid. So this is where they'll only give you thyroid medication and tell you there's nothing else that you can do, right? So you're taking thyroid medication, but you still have more symptoms. You feel like your symptoms are getting worse. You're getting new symptoms, and your thyroid medication keeps going up and up and up. And what that might look like is they just think of it as like they're just picking a fruit, that like an apple off the tree, but then there's 10 more apples that grow instead, right? And that's because they're just focusing on the thyroid, but we know that Hashimoto's is not a thyroid disease, it's an immune system disease. So if they're not focusing any sort of treatment on the root system, which is the immune system, then all that fruit, all that thyroid disease, hypothyroidism, is just going to keep coming back and it's going to keep getting worse, right? And that's because the immune system is feeding that inflammation. It's feeding all that autoimmunity to make more and create more of those fruits, right? Which is the thyroid disease and other symptoms as well too, right? That you might be experiencing. So if you want to cut that off, you have to cut it at the root. So you want to focus your treatment on things like nutrition and lifestyle and environmental things like toxins that are targeting your immune system. And once you target that and start cutting that off, you cut off what's feeding that inflammation, what's feeding that autoimmunity. And so as a result, the thyroid starts getting better, right? The thyroid is able to start healing again. The rest of your body is able to start healing again. And really that's what my program focuses on when it comes to Hashimoto's. And that's where most people get it wrong, because they're only focusing on the fruit, which is a thyroid, and completely ignoring what's actually feeding all that. So until you shift your perspective and shift your focus from the thyroid to the immune system, you're going to keep having symptoms, and your thyroid medication is most likely going to increase, and you're going to feel stuck and just like you're basically in a circle, right? You're going to keep gaining weight. The weight's not coming off. You keep having brain fog. Your energy is like in the buckets, it's in the dumpster. It just sucks. And it just feels like nothing is changing, and that's why. So you have to shift your focus. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope it made sense. And if that's something you're interested in learning more about my program and how I work with clients and to see if you're a good fit, then check out my free masterclass. I talk and go through how I work with different clients in their specific situations in the program and the results that they got. And yeah, go ahead and check that out. And if you're on my live, please join and you can ask me any questions that are about Hashimoto's or my program as well too. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.